and turn, I was very much like you, Roger. I was born in a religious cult. So I went to church every day of my life for the first 23 years of my life. And then when I thought I'd escaped from that, I literally went the opposite way, would turn my back on it. The good thing with God is that he's just the other side of the door waiting for you to put your hand on the handle and open it. And once you did it through doing well in business. We do it for different reasons. I did it because I was trying to find out who I was. But once I connected with God, it was like I was back with my best friend again. There was no, well, where have you been? Why has it taken you so long? There was none of that. It was, let's show you the right path. And what you're up, because we're up against Satan, we're up against the devil. We can't do it by ourselves. And there's not a lawyer or a judge in the world that can help us. We actually need God's help and God's guidance. And that's what's helped me come back to him, because there's been situations, and I loved what Muhammad Ali said when he was in England, when he was interviewed by Parkinson. Parkinson said to him, have you got a bodyguard? And Muhammad Ali started counting on his fingers. And he said, I have one bodyguard. He has no eyes, but he can see. He has no ears, and he can hear. He is God. He is Allah. He is my protector. And I thought that was so powerful. That right now, we don't need lawyers. We need to expose evil. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just about to expose that every single court in the UK is illegal. Never been rubber stamped. We have the evidence from the 1688 Bill of Rights of the United Kingdom. We also find that the government are involved in mortgage fraud. The royal family are involved in mortgage fraud. And if it's here in England, or I'm in Spain, but if it's in England, you can bet your life that America's no different. It's all interlinked because it all comes back. You've got the three pillars of evil. You've got the Vatican City. You've got Washington, D.C., District of Columbia, two vassal states. You've got City of London, the other vassal state. They're all interlinked, intertwined. And what we're doing right now is dismantling that, because they are evil. They're all Masonic, Knights Templars, all of the same level, all connected worldwide. And it's one hell of a job. I feel like David, but a tenth of the size, up against Goliath, 10 times the size. But God has given me the strength to take them on. And the good thing is he's taken my fear away, because when you have God on your side, fear disappears. And I've seen that with Donald Trump. He's a typical New Yorker businessman who's little bit brash at times, but you can see that he is completely guided by God. And God has entrusted him to do a job. And I sit back with complete pride when I see, and right now, it's probably the toughest time of his life. For Donald Trump to be humble is really, really difficult, because he's very, very out there and in your face. And I love that about him. But at the moment, he's having to be quiet in Mar-a-Lago. I do happen to know he's in Mar-a-Lago because Kash Patel's off to see him next week, because we were supposed to be with him on Monday and Kash is with him on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we're looking forward to getting an update from them, but we're blessed. But yeah, sorry, Michael.
Yeah, it probably would be interesting to hear Roger's information on the portal that's over the White House.
Yep.
Roger,
let me give this a proper lead in. So look, I'm someone who's experienced 3 miracles in a very short period of time. I attribute every one of them to prayer. I attribute every one of them to the Lord. First, of course, there is the commutation of my sentence. So hours before they're prepared to take me into custody, Trump moves legally to commute my sentence. Then several months later at Christmas, he issues a full unconditional pardon. So every time you read that I'm convicted. Thirdly, comes the morning of January 6th, when in the shower, getting ready to go out, get dressed and go out, I have a vision from the Lord. It tells me not to leave the hotel. And I didn't. never went to the Ellipse, never marched to the Capitol, wasn't at the Capitol, know nothing about it. Shortly after my pardon, my wife of 30 years is diagnosed with extraordinarily aggressive stage 4 cancer. This comes as quite a blow because she, of course, was my rock during the trial in an extraordinarily difficult period of my life where I did lose hope at certain turns and where I did find my redemption. And now, through the healing power of Christ, I can honestly say that her cancer is in complete remission. The most recent test at the end of last week, she's now more than 120 days into remission. Very good sign. So I've experienced all of these miracles, and it changed something in the sense that I decided that one of the things that I had been spared, one of the purposes for which I had been spared, was to proselytize to other people that no matter what your problem is, Jesus Christ is the answer. The Lord is the answer. So I began trying to speak at churches and speak in every Christian-based broadcast I possibly could to tell my firsthand story. Because if God can save you from something as horrific as what I went through, a political persecution designed to kill me, because ultimately my sentence, I argue, was a death sentence. Well, then the Lord can help anyone. He can do anything. He helped me and my family now 4 times. I think I'm about to announce the settlement of the single largest lawsuit against us on our terms, which would be miracle number 5, entirely possible. So I began talking as much as I possibly could. And through this process, I met a lot of prophets. Now, as you know, and I didn't know at the time, but I now know that there are many different types of Christians. I had been born a Catholic. I considered I guess I'm still technically a Catholic because I was baptized as a Catholic, but I also happen to think the Catholic Church has been taken over by radical communists. The Catholic Church, once a bulwark of anti-communism, I'm thinking of great clergymen like Cardinal Spellman in the United States, one of the greatest anti-communists, kind of the first television evangelist was a Catholic. That's kind of interesting, but it's true, historically true, but a truly great man. Or Pope John Paul, who plays a key role in bringing down the Soviet bloc and the Berlin Wall. But I more recently have joined Coral Ridge Presbyterian Church that was founded by Dr. James Kennedy. It was dedicated by Billy Graham. And I guess the way I look at it is, you either believe in the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, or you don't. That's all I really care about. It doesn't matter to me whether you're a Lutheran or a Methodist or a Presbyterian or Episcopalian or a Catholic. Do you believe in the resurrection of Christ? If you do, then you are my brother. That's all I care about. So I learned that some Christians believe in prophecy and other Christians do not believe in prophecy. And they're pretty strong in their opinions. But a number of prophets, men and women of God, the daughter of Tim Clement, very famous prophet, Robin Bullock, a very popular and well-known prophet, and others, all came to me to tell me about a strange phenomena, which they insisted was a portal. This looks like a cloud, really, that is over the White House, and you can see it day and night. There's a webcam there. You could go look at it right now. You'll see it. It's a little bit more pronounced in the evening. I at first, being a practical guy, I said, well, it's a reflection or a refracted light, or maybe it's an aerostat balloon that they use to gauge the weather. But if you will go down and you will examine it, if you use a telescopic lens and you look very closely, it looks like swirling gases. And it never moves. It popped up after the election of Joe Biden, and it is there today. Several of these prophets have told me it is a demonic portal that it is the way that Satan enters this realm. Well, I do believe that this administration is evil, that we're not just fighting liberal Democrats because we have a philosophical difference in our political opinions. I think we're fighting evil. We're fighting principalities, as the Bible says. The Bible also makes references to these portals. And therefore, I realized that this was, in fact, a demonic, a satanic portal, a passageway for evil to enter from the spiritual realm to the living realm. And every one of these clergymen, every one of these prophets told me that they thought that the Lord wanted me to talk about this. Well, I'm a political strategist and known as a political man. I'm not a spiritual leader. I don't claim to be one. Certainly not a savior. I was well aware of the prophecies of Kim Clement, who said that when confronted evil, the Lord shall pick up a simple stone. Remember that name, he says. So many people think that my life was spared for a specific purpose, to do the Lord's work. Robin Bullock has said, when the stone is released, that's my pardon, the giant will fall. I consult with Kim Clement's daughter and with Robin Bullock fairly regularly. Both of them strongly urged me to, first of all, pray about it. But if the Lord deemed it to be necessary, to go out in public and talk about this. And I knew that I would be mocked. The Huffington Post and the rest of the mainstream media jackals, most of whom are atheists anyway, would make fun of me, would laugh about this. But every one of them said the way to close this portal, and I think in the end, close the evil of the Biden administration, is through prayer. Millions of people, wherever they are, praying to rid this realm of Satan, to close his portal, to close his entry point. And therefore, I have spoken about it, not only on the very popular Christian website Elijah Streams, but also in speeches and sermons and talks across the country. I'm not going to stop talking about it because I think it is true. So for those who are watching and think that I'm out of my mind, please just go online now and go to the permanent webcam that is pointed at the White House this evening after the sun goes down. And you tell me what it is. I asked a police officer who's a friend of mine in Arlington, Virginia, please go down and look at this and tell me what it is. He said, dude, you're out of your mind. That's crazy. I said, just humor me. Go down there with your camera, go down there with your cell phone, see what it is, take pictures of it, bring them back, and tell me what you see. Within 3 hours, he called me back and he said, you're not going to believe this, but I'm absolutely convinced you're right. Because when you zoom in on it with a telescopic lens, you see the swirling gases. It's like a permanent cloud that just hovers in the air. So for those of you who can hear this, those of you who are watching it, look it up for yourself. There are a lot of pictures available of it online.